Then you see a pack of Hell's Angels going by, people are going to want to look. Next thing you know, cars, because they're just staring at us and not paying attention to stop traffic.
If you wanted to break the law on an everyday norm, you should have joined a street gang. That's what they're known for. That's what they do. You're not allowed to steal cars on my block. We steal those cars.
I mean, it was so bad by us in Vegas. I was in the pool swimming, and the guys came back. Hey, Pee-wee, the cops are here. They want to talk to you. I said, well, go talk to them. Find out what they want. And they came back. They go, they want to talk to you.
Typically, if you leave the club, if you haven't been in for 10 years, you're automatically out there.
Got put out in 2006. Back in 2007, wound up going into Chattin. 2011. Came out of there, I had 4.5 years to walk off with zero support from that club.
Welcome to this episode of Chatting with Staxx. I'm your host, Bill Staxx, and today we got a lot to talk about. There's a lot going on out there. Before we get started, make sure you guys hit the like button, subscribe, tell a friend to tell a friend. We got a lot of great things in the works. Subscribers are moving pretty fast. I appreciate everyone that takes the time to watch this show. Lindsay, thank you for joining me this afternoon. I appreciate you. We got tons of great things in the works, and I couldn't have done it without your support. So I appreciate everyone that watches this show. So we got a bunch of stories to go over today. If you see the headlines, you see that there was Hell's Angel was arrested by the DEA, and he is going to be extradited to the U.S. to face charges of drug trafficking. We're going to get into that story, but we got other things to talk about too. So there's a war brewing. There is an absolute war brewing between the Outcast MC and the Soul Brothers MC. And things aren't looking good. There's a video that's going around, and I watched Black Dragon show today, and I seen that they were saying, he was saying that he took a video down. They asked him to take it down. So out of respect for the two clubs, I'm not going to play the video. So, you know, sometimes you got to choose your battles, and what's right is right. And I'm just not going to play the video out of respect for them clubs. But we're going to talk a little bit about both clubs and see, we're going to check out their background and see what they're all about. So the Outcast MC is a black 1%er motorcycle club. Was founded in Detroit, Michigan in 1969. The club are not confused. Don't get it confused with Outcasts MC with an S, who are not a 1% club. Outcast MC Motorcycle Club was founded in Detroit, Michigan, 1969 by a group of men who love to ride Harley-Davidson motorcycles. They wear a 1%er patch on the top left of their cuts. They are all black 1%er motorcycle club with other large percent of black membership included Chosen Few and the Wheels of Soul, but I don't believe that those other ones are all black. There's a lot of clubs that say that they're all black clubs, but they're not. Some of them have white members, and you know. So Outcasts have had many run-ins with the Wheels of Soul club over the past years, resulting in multiple murders. So after starting their mother chapter in Detroit, they have expanded into multiple cities throughout the U.S. They do not have any chapters internationally. The Outcast Motorcycle Club patch is made up of a laughing skull, which has teeth and possibly cornrows behind the skull. It's an iron cross. The Outcast motto is "We ride for peace," making note of the spelling of the word peace is P-I-E-C-E rather than P-E-A-C-E. Also, another motto is O-F-F-O. Everyone knows what that type of acronym stands for. Outcast Forever, Forever Outcast. They have a chapter in Florida, in Jacksonville. They have two in Jacksonville. They have one in Georgia, California, Detroit. Their mother chapters in Detroit. They have one in Mississippi, Florida, Kansas, New Jersey, North Carolina, South Carolina. The rapper Sean P was part of the club. He makes up half of the group Young Bloods, now called Old Bloods, along with rapper J-Bo. Their song Damn went number 4 on the Billboard's hundreds, connected to several well-known performers like Little John, Nelly, T.I., Gucci Man, Lil Scrappy, Twister, and DJ Khaled. Sean P is a member of the Outcast Motorcycle Club based out of Georgia. In 2012 of December, Dominic Bishop Henley, the Wheels of Soul Motorcycle Club, is convicted in St. Louis, conspiring to murder members of the Outcasts on January 29, 2011. The jury determined that Dominic Henley, along with other members of the Wheels of Soul, traveled to the Black New Year event in East St. Louis to intend of killing multiple members of the Outcast Motorcycle Club. 2013, January, Outcast member Johnny Lee Guilford was indicted for conspiracy to distribute cocaine. Police had been in the middle of an undercover operation where they were recording the conversation of the Outcast Motorcycle Club members who were suspected of dealing in stolen motorcycles. As part of the investigation, they came across Johnny Lee Gifford involved in drug sales, including selling cocaine to police informants multiple times in 2011. He passed away in 2013. 2014, August, Outlaw Motorcycle Club members, along with members of the Dominant Breed Motorcycle Club, gained in their town of Ferguson, Missouri, to help law enforcement keep control of the town after a police shooting of 18-year-old black teenager Michael Brown. On August 9, 2014, police officer Darren Brown, the motorcycle club stated that they wanted to help protect the stores from looting, as well as participating in peaceful protests. In September 2014, Outcast member James Armstrong is arrested in retaliation for a shooting at a party in Birmingham, in which saw the murder of Wheels of Soul member and a member of the Shaw Stoppers Sport Bike Club killed on August 30th, 2014. So they have a long history. And you know, most of these clubs, it doesn't matter if it's this one or any other one, they have a long history that dates back, you know, sometimes generations, decades. And now the Soul Brothers Motorcycle Club. The Soul Brothers Motorcycle Club is a 1%er motorcycle club founded in East Palo Alto, California in 1967. Soul Brothers Motorcycle Club was officially founded in East Palo Alto, California in 1967, leading up to the founding of a small group of friends have been riding together approximately 3 years prior. Making the club rather unique at the time was the fact that they were mixed race club from the beginning, with a mix of black and white members, considering that is in the late 60s is unusual for an outlaw motorcycle club to be a mixed club. The club's first run was on Labor Day 1967 with a total membership of 57 members participating. The mother chapter of the club would also shift over time from early years in East Palo Alto to Stockton, then to Frisco. And you know, a club being in Frisco near the Hells Angels is pretty It's a pretty big move. The patch used by the Soul Brothers consists of two arms crossing. One of the arms is black and another arm is white. This is to signify the unity within the club, regardless of race. So they have clubs in Arizona, they have Phoenix, California, Frisco, LA chapter, Northern California chapter, and Stockton. They have chapters in Florida, Nevada, Las Vegas, Texas, and Washington. 2013, October 6th, a party is being held at Soul Brothers Frisco chapter clubhouse with hundreds in attendance. When just before 2 a.m., shots are fired. The firing moves outside the clubhouse and into the surrounding streets. An 18-year-old Dejon Gladney was killed. A dozen others are injured. It is not believed that Dejon Gladney was the member of the Soul Brothers Club, nor are there any reports that any of the shooters were members of the Soul Brothers. January 2014, the Soul Brothers Frisco chapter president, Michael Taylor, is arrested following a police raid. 5 assault rifles, 3 handguns, and more than 1,000 pounds of ammunition and several high-capacity magazines were discovered as part of law enforcement operation. After being sent to Frisco County Jail, he was soon released due to overcrowding. So, I mean, both of these clubs have a long history. And as you know, like I said before, there's a video going around that's not good. Hopefully, they can get it together. But there's pictures online that are going around like this, where they took cuts from other members and they're stepping on them. Or they're holding them up like this, upside down. I mean, that's a blatant sign of disrespect for any club when people are out there doing it. So I hope they could get it together, and I hope this war doesn't escalate. Carney's Ride, how are you? Thank you for joining me this afternoon. I appreciate you. What's going on? So let's talk about, we got tons to talk about today. So 2 members of the Outlaws Motorcycle Club were arrested in Connecticut. This is an insane case. They're both out of jail. 2 charged in assault in Litchfield restaurant. Left man seriously injured, police say. Litchfield, Connecticut. 2 men are facing multiple charges after being arrested on warrants in connection to an assault of a man who was seriously injured at a local restaurant bar late last year, according to police. Anthony Sidoti, 30, of Southington, and Lewis Williamson, 49, of Bethlehem, turned themselves into Troop L in Litchfield Thursday on active warrants. Connecticut State Police said in a news release on Monday. Williamson is charged with 1st-degree burglary, 6th-degree larceny, 6th-degree breach of peace, 1st-degree assault, 2nd-degree assault, 2nd-degree threatening, 1st-degree reckless endangerment, as well as several related conspiracy counts, police said. Sidoti is charged with 2nd-degree threatening, 1st-degree reckless endangerment, 2nd-degree breach of peace, and multiple conspiracy counts related to an assault and burglary, police said. The victim, Ann Callaghan, 46, suffered skull and facial bone fractures on November 23rd, 2024, at his assault at the Bohemian Pizza and Taco, according to a relative. According to police, troopers were called to the scene at 2:30 a.m. after an incident they had described as a bar fight. Callaghan was found seriously injured and was treated in intensive care unit at Charlotte Hungerford Hospital, according to police. Sidoti and Williamson were given bails of $20,000 and $75,000 respectively, and are due to appear in State Superior Court in Torrington April 3rd. A fundraiser to help Callaghan's medical bills, which are about $31,000 within weeks. Callaghan, a Litchfield native, could not be reached for comment. So allegedly what happened, this is over a bar tab, allegedly. And something happened where they got into an argument over the bar tab, and these dudes came into the bar masked up with a bat. So check this out.
Assault caught on camera in Litchfield. State police are now in charge of this investigation.
This all began last month at a restaurant on Bantam Road. NBC Connecticut's Kevin Geis joining us now in the studio. Kevin, what happened here?
And Mike, as you gave to you both, obviously a very scary incident, and we do want to warn folks at home that this is a disturbing video to watch. Now, police say the incident happened in the early morning hours of November 23rd.
An early morning attack caught on security camera at Bohemian Pizza and Tacos. This is the security video obtained by NBC Connecticut that shows a masked person enter the bar just before 2:30 in the morning. He moves toward the victim.
This is insane. Look at that. He's got a bat. He's got a mask on. Now they got all this is caught on tape. So, I mean, this is crazy. He moves in and bashes him right in the head.
Swings at his head with what appears to be a baseball bat.
It stops right before it connects. But so these dudes allegedly left, and they came back early in the morning and
throws the video before the first strike lands. After multiple swings, the attacker heads for the door and attacks a person.
See that girl right there? She throws something at him, and this guy right here on the right gets hit too.
Behind the bar before being chased out the door. According to a GoFundMe for the alleged victim, he suffered traumatic brain injuries that left him in intensive care. Updates say he's recovering, but slowly. It's still unclear who the attacker was and if it...
Boom! Now this is a newscast from before they even got caught.
It was random or targeted.
And state police are still investigating the assault and could offer no more information about the incident while the investigation is still active. We'll, of course, continue to update you on air and online as we learn more.
Now, this is a clearer view of the situation. The guy comes in with the bat with a mask on. I mean, I don't know how you could tell that it's that guy, that it's those guys. Who's to say it's not someone else, right? Got him good. He didn't even get up to like really block it or anything. See, she throws something at him. No, he threw something at him too. You see the bartender threw something too. At least he was kind of ready when the dude attacked him. Boom.
Welcome to the Connection News at 7:30, wherever you stream NBC Connecticut. I'm Mike Heideck. Two men are under arrest, accused of brutally beating a man with a baseball bat inside a Litchfield bar back in November. A warning, the video you're about to see obtained by NBC Connecticut is disturbing. Here's NBC Connecticut's Kevin Geis.
An early morning attack caught on security camera at Bohemian Pizza and Tacos in November. The video obtained by NBC Connecticut shows a masked person enter the bar just before 2:30 in the morning. He moves toward the victim and swings at his head with a baseball bat.
It was very evident at that point in time, just going through the scene and seeing the absolute chaos with broken glass, overturned tables, chairs, etc., that something did happen there. It was very bad.
State police arrested Anthony Sadati and Louis Williamson last week. Both are charged with assault and burglary, among other charges.
Came down to a dispute over a bar tab, a matter of $70.
According to arrest warrants, there was a fight earlier in the evening around who would pay a bar tab totaling $71.
Police say Sadati and Williamson left, came back with ski masks, gloves, and bats, and that's where the video picks up.
The two individuals who were ultimately arrested left the bar, had dropped cell phones after turning them off at a private residence and returned, committed the crime, and then left again.
The warrants indicate the two were identified in part because of markings worn on sweatshirts marked Outlaws and Outlaws Waterbury during the initial fight, and when their phones went stationary during the time of the crime, they were static at a known outlaw motorcycle gang clubhouse.
Regardless of whatever kind of misunderstanding that you may have with somebody, it's not worth it. Getting into a dispute over a matter of a bar tab is never worth physical violence and assaulting another person.
Thanks, man. Big country, what's going on? Thank you for joining me today. So, in other news, that's a crazy case, but in other news, a pretty well-known Hells Angel was arrested. Hells Angels, New Zealand. Murray Michael Matthews, arrested in Spain after 2 years on the run from U.S. officials. Now, I have a video that I'm going to play you, but it's in another language, so I put it through this program, and I had them transcribe into English so you could see what it says. So let me just tell you about this case real quick, and then we'll get into it. That's the guy on the right. So, Hells Angels, New Zealand. It says gang member arrested in Spain after 2 years on the run from U.S. officials. Murray Michael Matthews, initially arrested in Romania in 2020 for conspiracy to import 400 kilograms worth of cocaine into New Zealand. National Organized Crime Group Detective Superintendent Greg Williams said the result was due to a multi-country cooperation. Murray Michael Matthews, a patch member of the Auckland branch of the Hells Angels motorcycle gang, has been arrested in Spain after nearly 2 years on the run. Matthews, who also goes by Angelo, and his Kiwi business partner, Mark Patrick Johnson, flew to Romania in 2020 to meet with the country's Hells Angel boss, Marcus Lazar, and finalize a deal smuggling 400 kilograms of cocaine into New Zealand. In reality, their purported drug smuggling supplier was an undercover agent from the Drug Enforcement Agency in the U.S. The Romanian police alleged that Johnson and Matthews were arrested immediately after negotiating the payment for the quantity of cocaine to be transferred to New Zealand. Lazar was extradited to Texas and convicted of drug conspiracy, importing cocaine, and conspiracy to commit murder. He was recently sentenced to 25 years in prison. I believe I covered that case too. However, Matthews and Johnson escaped authorities after being granted bail and went on the run. In a video posted on YouTube, Spain's Civil Guard said Matthews has been captured as part of an operation codenamed Fontana. He could be seen wearing his Hells Angels New Zealand patch in the arrest video. Police, National Organized Crime Group Detective Superintendent Greg Williams said the arrest is as a result of an extensive effort of teams from New Zealand police who worked with counterparts in Spain, the United States, and the United Kingdom. The charges he faces are extremely serious, and it is a great result knowing that he's back in the country and will be held accountable for his alleged things that he has done. Though the National Organized Crime Group, New Zealand police have been collaborating with our counterparts overseas to provide whatever assistance and intelligence that we would help the local police track and capture him. This is fantastic example of agencies working in jurisdictions, countries, and continents to find someone who we believe is a real threat. And this was aided by the fact that he was wearing his New Zealand patch. Williams said the gangs are known for violent outlaw gang with outposts across the world. The gang uses those links to carry out legal activities, he said. This arrest hammers home the message that no matter where you are on the run, the police will not stop looking for you. So, all right, let me play that video for you guys. You guys can check it out for yourself. Let's check it out.
La Guardia Civil y la Policía Nacional han detenido en Madrid a un fugitivo de la organización Los Ángeles del Infierno, buscado por asesinato y narcotráfico. El detenido, de 35 años, ordenó el asesinato de un miembro de una banda rival en Estados Unidos y pagó $20,000 por ello. Además, introdujo en su país de origen más de 500 kilogramos de cocaína. Tras más de 2 años prófugo y con identidades falsas de Francia y Eslovaquia, los investigadores descubrieron su paradero en España.
I wonder if he's going to get extradited to the U.S. because, you know, that's one thing that these criminals don't want. They do not want to be extradited to the United States. They would rather be in prison somewhere else, especially even the ones down like in South America. And that's crazy because the prisons down there are terrible. You know what I mean? Mark, what's going on? Thanks for joining me.
Sobre él pesaba una orden internacional de detención emitida por las autoridades de Estados Unidos. También
So the arrest warrant was from the U.S., it says. So I don't know. They might be extraditing him. But I do remember when the boss of all these guys was sentenced in Texas. I covered that case. It's somewhere on my list. Hey, Joe Blunts, what's going on? Mountain Woman, how are you? Thank you for joining me this afternoon. I appreciate it.
Enfrentaba cargos por pertenencia a una organización criminal y blanqueo de capitales. Los agentes siguieron de cerca las actividades de la banda en España. Durante un evento en Madrid, identificaron al fugitivo y lo interceptaron en una salida de la autovía A2. En el momento de su detención, llevaba documentación falsificada con
He was carrying forged documents with a photograph,
su fotografía y 2 identidades distintas, un
identities and a passport. So these dudes are
pasaporte
really
y
on the
una
run.
carta de identidad de Francia, además
Identity card from France. In
de un
addition,
documento de identidad y un permiso de conducir
he had a driver's
de
license
Eslovaquia.
from Slovakia.
Actualmente, permanece en prisión y espera
Currently remains in
su
prison to
extradición a
await
Estados
extradition to the U.S. So he is coming to the U.S. You the man, Staxx. Keep charging. Definitely, 100%.
Unidos, donde deberá enfrentarse a la justicia.
So he is being extradited to the U.S. That is a huge thing because, you know, the DEA does not fuck around. Like, they do not fuck around. You guys know all the craziness that's going on in New Zealand. They have patch bans. They have a new gang law where if anyone's caught with any motorcycle club patches, if you have a tattoo of a motorcycle club, you will go to prison for it. They do not care. You will be held and you will go to prison. Damn, I keep getting messages. I'll hit you back. But yeah, there's so much going on. There's so many shows I want to do. Tomorrow, we're going to be talking about the Sin City Disciples and the Blue Angels. There's situations going on with both of those clubs. We're going to talk about some cases that happened with the Sin City Disciples. And I'm going to explain 3 people were sentenced in the past 3 months. And we're going to talk about those cases. And we're going to talk about the Blue Angels, a despicable member that did some pretty heinous stuff. And we're going to talk about that. I appreciate all you guys. Make sure you go check out the interview with the Heathens motorcycle family with Coyote. He's a great guy. And if you want to watch the whole interview right now, you don't have to wait. You can watch the whole thing on the membership, Chatting with Staxx. I think it's $2 or $3 for the membership a month. So you can watch the full interviews before they drop completely. I believe tonight is part 3 or part 4. But definitely, I appreciate all you guys. John, what's going on? I don't know who that is, John, nor do I care. I don't care. Don't know him. Don't know any of them fucking losers. I stay away from all those people. They're all bad news, all of them. But anyway, let's check out this last video about Rhode Island Mafia. Let's check it out.
Special 70th anniversary coverage continues now from Raymond Patriarca to Cadillac Frank Salemi and Baby Shaxx Menacchio. The Target 12 investigators have been covering organized crime for decades.
Tim White is here now with a close look at the big stories, big cases, and notorious names that have made news through the years.
From mob wars and murders to shakedowns, extortion, and public corruption, organized crime has been a big part of New England's history, and Target 12 has covered it all. The Target 12 Investigator series Inside the Mafia has spent decades tracking the figures.
And I still got the heart condition.
Cases.
I still got the heart condition.
Influence of La Cosa Nostra in New England. We were there for the extraordinary arraignment of mob boss Raymond L.S. Patriarca in 1981, wheeled in on a gurney to face murder conspiracy charges. Just 3 years later, Patriarca was dead. His funeral drew throngs of people and press.
Dude's on a hospital bed in the courtroom. Can you imagine that? Damn.
Target 12 cameras not welcome.
If you think you're going to intimidate me with the camera, you're not.
Isn't that Joe Barbosa right there? I could swear that that's who that is. No, that's not him. I forgot this guy's name.
I wish you to leave.
As the U.S. Department of Justice cracked down on organized crime in the 1980s, Target 12 traveled to New York to interview then U.S. Attorney Rudy Giuliani.
Begin the process of disbanding some of the institutional power that the mafia has.
We interviewed hitmen. And the hits they committed, from a slaying at Federal Hill's Acorn Social Club in 1975 to the 1992 gangland slaying of Kevin Hanrahan. And we chronicled the fallout after investigators secretly recorded a 1989 mob induction ceremony, evidence subsequently used in multiple trials.
We're all here to bring in some new members to Club. And more than that,
in the 2000s, Target 12 went undercover, gathering video of key figures as a federal investigation was swirling around the crime family. In 2011, the Fed swept up 9 made members and their associates, among them former mob boss Luigi Baby Shaxx Menacchio, as well as mob capo Edward Eddie Lato. As time passed, the crime family's deeds came to the surface. A 2008 state police dig in East Providence unearthing the remains of Joseph Joey Onion Scanlon, killed in 1978, and in 2016, the body of Stephen DeSaro was exhumed behind a mill building on Branch Ave in Providence. DeSaro was ordered killed in 1993 by this man, then mob boss Francis Cadillac Frank Salemi. Salemi was ripped out of witness protection to face trial in 2018. Target 12 was there when made member of the crime family Joseph DeLuca testified in Boston about how he helped dispose.
Thank you, Mountain Woman.
The butler did it, buddy. You better go look for somebody else.
One mob case has spanned much of Channel 12's existence. The 1975 robbery of Bonded Vault, a secret room of safe deposit boxes hidden in a first storage building in Providence. It was used by made members of the Patriarca crime family and their associates to hide their ill-gotten gains. Decades later, one of the hostages from the heist shared her story for the first time in a Target 12 special report.
George says, tell her not to look at me. I'm going to blow off her
hit.
The fate of the lead gunman, Robert Dussault, remains a mystery. The gangster ended up cooperating with prosecutors.
I knew they tried to kill me in Dallas, Texas, and Las Vegas and Chicago.
Records show Dussault died in 1992. This tape of his funeral was obtained by Target 12, but the footage only raised more questions about whether Dussault was truly lowered into the ground.
There's a lot more content on the way. I got tons of interviews you guys can go check out. There's over 5,000 interviews. Thank you, Mountain Woman. I really appreciate that. I do put a lot of work into this, and I enjoy bringing you guys content. Interviews drop every single day at 10 o'clock. I've been getting a lot of interviews with a lot of different people. There's some, I have the Heathens Motorcycle Family. I got another member I interviewed. Shout out to Hazmat. Shout out to Coyote. And I interviewed this guy named Rich, who was a part of the Death Marauders. That's a club way back in the day in Chicago. And it's a pretty good interview. All this stuff is going to be coming out real soon. But I appreciate everyone that takes the time to watch this show. If you like this show, hit the like button, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you can get my videos every time they drop. And if you don't like this show, you already know what to do. Start your own podcast. I appreciate everyone. And remember, don't be a bitch.
And all new at 5, a major organized crime bust. 23 people under arrest now accused of stealing guns and cash.
Today, police revealed 4 organized crime groups are wreaking havoc.
From aggravated robbery to kidnapping, burglary, and more. Let's take a look at this. New pictures from court documents in this case. These are a few of the people who have been charged. And investigators say the money, tens of thousands of dollars, is all stolen.